the truth is out there. It isn't that we have a lack of truth. It is that we have an overabundance of untruth, and that is screwing with our perception. That is screwing with our reality. And this week here will show this to us in many, many different ways, but especially in ways that are most hurtful for us, namely in our personal relationships, in our love relationships. So welcome everybody to our energy tips for week 43, the 16th to the 22nd of October 2021. And guys, this isn't going to be an easy energy update simply because this week is basically the showdown of October energies. And if you've watched the forecast and energy analysis of October, then you know that this is quite a challenging, quite a complex month, namely in that way that we are primarily dealing with something that I called media wars last year in the forecast for 21. And then I've talked about bifurcation for the last 10 years. And we are actually standing at this fork right now. So I'm calling the energy update and energy tips for week 43 forking realities. But let's reflect on how we are feeling these days. The last week was an interesting week because there didn't seem to be going on a lot. I mean, obviously there's always something going on, and if we focus on it, we'll always find some kind of drama somewhere. That's not hard. It's not hard to find the suffering or the drama or the injustice or confusion in things nowadays, because we're living in a time where our reality appears to be, I want to say, attacked with competing realities, augmented realities, or fake realities, or whatever you want to call this. And this last week, besides sort of a global phenomenon that was experienced here through the, planetary observation, there was a really strong solar flare. People who are energetically sensitive may actually have felt that. We're all experiencing this nervousness and sort of an overreactivity of our nervous system and all the noise that comes with it. The physical, emotional, mental noise, and also the spiritual noise that comes with it. But this was different. This was literally like as if we got electrified. So from a scientific point of view, we were dealing with a lot of ionic plasma in our atmosphere. And some of us, just like how some of us are really sensitive to weather, could feel that. I would not spend too much energy into trying to investigate this or find causations, because it's kind of obvious for me. And while I'm not an astrologer, while I'm not looking at constellations in detail, I do obviously understand as an energy reader that our personal energies and our collective energies are influenced by greater rhythms and cycles. Not just what happens on the planet Earth, but also the moon, also the sun, also Venus, also Mars, and so forth, the planets in our solar system, and more. So yes, Cindy, exactly. It literally felt like getting zapped. I had moments when I was doing live streams where, and you could see this, I had to deal with extremely strong, sort of electrifying energies. These things are not necessarily attacks. This has very little to do with etheric attacks. But if our etheric immune system is worn down, and this is unfortunately a part of this epistemic crisis that we are in, epistemic stemming from the word epistemology. I have reported about this a lot. There was a workshop series on my YouTube channel about mind control, etc. that is laying all that out. Basically, the science of how we come to insights of how we regard reality. So this is actually the most systematic and actually most spiritual science that I have connected myself with, because it allows all of those of us who have some sorts of higher perception to actually systematically learn how to make sure that what you're experiencing is true. Because, and this is something that we're all learning right now, just because something is real or appears as real doesn't mean it's true. And so the relevance here for this next week is that we are experiencing this kind of showdown in regards to these forking realities. We will realize that we have literally come to a place globally where we are dealing with all sorts of different versions of truth, and they're persistent. And they're literally in a standoff right now. Yeah, you all know what this refers to. Yeah, all the things that are bothering us here and that make us feel uncertain about the future and make it really difficult for us to see meaning and purpose in life, to see a future, and that make us suffer from this noise. People like Brett McCracken, an author here in the United States, points out the 5 pillars of this epistemological crisis. He talks about post-truth, where it's more about the emotional impact of what is being reported than basically the actual facts. We have known this for decades. Alternative facts, we are all familiar with this term. Fake news, infotainment, and unreflective conditions, meaning that we are in a constant state of ADHD, so to speak, a constant state of distraction and noise, and literally lose the ability to come to our own insights, to come to our own experience of reality, as we so beautifully just did that in the energy prayer here, right before the energy tips. Now, there's a book, if you guys are interested in this, and this is systematic training of your consciousness, guys, so don't underestimate the importance of such a training. There is a book that I can recommend. It's called A Defense of Truth. It was released in June or July, I think, by Jonathan Rauch. It's a very good, well-written, understandable book about how to find truth. And the reason why I'm bringing this up here, because you guys are used to be dealing with mystical energies, with etheric stuff, and all sorts of unusual energetic sensations, feelings, and perceptions, is to help you out. Yeah? The book is not the only way. I have produced massive amounts of articles and videos and workshops about this topic, so have others. So the truth is out there. All right? It isn't that we have a lack of truth. It is that we have an overabundance of untruth, and that is screwing with our perception. That is screwing with our reality. And this week here will show this to us in many, many different ways, but especially in ways that are most hurtful for us, namely in our personal relationships, in our love relationships, with our loved ones. It's going to show us the rift that this current collective energy is bringing into our own families and relationships. And it has to do with perception. It has to do with our ability to reflect and speak, communicate in ways that do not solely reflect on our fight, flight, or freeze, our vulnerabilities, our insecurities, our wounding, our fears, but a self-propelled inner reflection. And this can sound something like, I hear what you're saying, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this. At this very moment, there are some aspects of that that I'm disagreeing with, but I need some time. I need some time to reflect about this. I need some time to feel into this before I can respond. Is this okay with you? Can we talk about this tonight or tomorrow? Because I need more time. These are important subjects, yeah, whatever the subject at hand is. And I don't want to just react to it, because right now I'm not in the right state of mind or heart to truly feel what matters the most to me, yeah, what's important to me, where I want to go with this, what I can make of this, how I can see this through. You see, it's very complex here, what I am offering to you as energy tip. It is higher levels of communication. It is something that we need to learn. Hence the book recommendation, yeah, or taking time to watch workshops that actually systematically train this. As many of you know, I have many different programs that train this on weekly, daily, monthly basis. I have online courses where you can do this on your own time or in conjunction with energy sessions and higher learning, meta learning modalities. This higher communication, guys, is needed as the way to read through these forking realities. And if we don't know how to do this, yeah, if this all sounds like a foreign language to you, then that doesn't mean that you're not good enough or that you are not ready. It just means that it has never crossed your mind before that there might actually be something like a manipulation of your perception going on. And for those of you who have been, going through somewhat of a say, hard life in relationships, especially, maybe you have experienced trauma, abuse, or even narcissistic abuse, you might actually be very familiar with the symptomology, namely the fact that you are so caught in your own mind, in your own questioning yourself, that you are beginning to lose your own identity. You are beginning to sort of basically give up on your own ability to perceive truth, and that is what needs to be relearned. So we all are collectively at the beginning of this, guys. This is why myself and so many other people who report about the Great Awakening or whatever are so hopeful. This isn't a blind hope or blind trust. We understand that what we are confronted with right now is learning on the highest level, is something that will lead us and teach us and allow us to experience what higher learning is about, so that we can realize that we are the co-creator of reality, that we, on all these different levels of self-perception, physically, yeah, with our body, 3D stuff, emotionally, mentally, yeah, intellectually, spiritually, socially, and energetically. And once we discover that and internalize that power, we are unstoppable, guys. And that's something where, conspiracy theorists, unfortunately, have a bit of a field day right now. Not to say that all conspiracy theories are wrong, but there's an alignment or an agenda behind conspiracy theories, and this is really unaware to most people, is that are promoting more confusion and more fear. Okay, by mystifying everything and by blaming everything, sort of generalizing things, yeah, to some kind of cabal or some kind of alien or some kind of power that is outside of our power, it sends us to the wrong exit, guys. is it produces a wrong, distorted, better word, reality as well. It's simply the other side of the coin. So I warn you again of buying into conspiracy theories just as much as I want to warn you and have been warning you exactly of mainstream media, social media, and the infotainment, yeah, and post-truths and alternative facts and fake news that are floating around there on both ends of these untruths, okay? Because both do the same thing. They are distancing and separating ourselves from our inner higher power, from our divine Wi-Fi, as I just called it in the energy prayer. Exactly, and that's why your job is to train that ability to cut through it. And the way to embody this is through reflection, contemplation, meditation, mindfulness, and prayer. Conscious grounding, conscious breathing and centering, conscious self-clearing. That is not woo-woo, guys. That is very pragmatic, very hands-on. And as I have been basically putting out here for you, the most important tip that I can ever give to you is take your time to really feel into what you are sensing, emoting, thinking especially, and perceiving. Chances are you are dealing or interacting with some kind of augmented reality. And when I say augmented reality, and even use terms such as mind control, I want to make you aware that this is not some kind of, it is, but it isn't, okay, psyops or something, yeah, some kind of government. There are obviously agents of that represent this, just like how Hitler has represented, yeah, this cold and non-empathetic, narcissistic Mammon or Ahriman energy, the coldness of 3D reality without higher power. So right now we are actually experiencing sort of the counterpart of what the world went through during the Second World War, before and after, and that is the other extreme, guys. So collectively we are all showing signs of cult-like behaviors and psychology. And if you are part of my email list, which I strongly recommend you if you're interested in subjects like this, then you will receive the links for the second workshop in the series of mind control, narcissistic abuse and etheric abuse for your entertainment and your learning. But there's many other sources out there as well. Yes, this is basically the energy of this next week. There will be a very intense full moon on the 20th, and as always, when we have strong lunar energies coming in, you are already aware of this. This is, basically going on forever. We get extremes, and full moons are usually the type of release energies. It's the clearing, it's the, sort of the closure of what has been held in, what hasn't come to an expression. And what needs to come to an expression right now is people's confusion, people's inability, to cut through the noise. And there is unfortunately this energy with it that doesn't necessarily bring out the best in people, which is why I strongly recommend that you start with yourself, work on your communication, really learn to stay calm in the midst of whatever it is that you're feeling attacked, or you're feeling somebody is trying to take advantage of you or whatever. And take the time, however long it takes you. You know, in my experience, it doesn't really take that long. You just have to really make sure that you are free of any kind of outer noise, literally and sort of mentally. So you have to really learn to investigate your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions, because you are more than just your thoughts. You are more than just your emotions. You are more than just your physical reactions. These three, your body, mind, and emotion, are intrinsically linked through your nervous system. And because this cannot come to full expression yet, you are experiencing this as nervousness. So please, yes, please take your time now. Yeah, do things like make a bonfire, sit around the fire, sit at a river and just watch the water flow down. Light a candle, take a pen and paper and sit there and just sort of write down what comes to mind. Yeah, and then investigate what you just wrote. Yeah, take the time to investigate the negative inner self-talk that you're experiencing. Take the time to investigate if what people are saying to you is really an attack or is really meant to harm you. Maybe it's just them being in their wounded place and not having very good communication. These things can easily be neutralized by saying, I can see that you're really upset. Yeah, and maybe, you know, let's just allow ourselves to process this a little more and then come back to this. Yeah, without degrading, judging, or sort of minimizing, yeah, the feelings or the thoughts that the other is trying to convey. So there are many, many ways to choose the higher route. And when I say higher route, I obviously am not referring to righteousness, because righteousness is one of those diseases, one of these really strong noises that comes with this, with these forking realities and the manipulation thereof. So take the time. Next week I will probably have to do a second part for these energy tips right around Wednesday or Thursday. Also, a quick reminder, our monthly Connect with Your True Self session is coming up on Tuesday. Let me double check the time, at 10 p.m. Florida time. This is a free energy healing and training session that I am celebrating my 10th anniversary of this month. And for that purpose, I have a site-wide 25% discount on my website, transcodes.com. Go check this out until October the 31st. So all services are subject to 25% discount, all sessions, programs, and so forth. As for, you know, your personal sort of techniques or routines that you need to pay attention to here, keep away from noise, seek inner stillness, seek prayers, seek reflection and contemplation, and allow your body to relax. Allow your nervous system to relax. Get more sleep, drink more water, eat better food. Those things can do wonder for your nervous system, and with it, you'd be surprised for the way you perceive reality and yourself. With that, I would like to close the energy tips here for this next week. I'm seeing your guys' posts. You are all right on it, guys. Yep, that's what we're dealing with. Barking at the moon. So let's just calm ourselves down and not overreact to anything, and stay away from the polarization that is out there, because you already know that that is not leading you to truth. Wonderful. Love you guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching this video. Please feel encouraged to comment in the comments below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye bye. See you tomorrow morning for the energy break.